Sounds right.
Snappy, won't you? I have some very heavy thinking to do before 10 o'clock.
And we're rolling. I'm here today with Nick from On Tabletop. It's a YouTube channel there. They have over 300,000 subscribers. They do a lot of Warhammer things, and they're in town for a Warhammer campaign.
And it's not just Warhammer. They play all kinds of different board games, too.
Yeah, we do a bunch of different stuff.
Star Wars Legion.
Honestly, we just want to inspire people to play games that we love, right? And so we play a whole bunch of different games. We do hobby content and stuff like that. But basically, we're just having fun making cool videos on the internet. And
you know what? It's grown so much. I saw that one video you had of when you talk and thanking the Patreons, which I'm one myself.
Thank you very much for that. I really appreciate it.
Anytime. Actually, I'm a member and a Patreon on both.
Really? That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Regardless, so I saw that video too, where you quit your full-time job.
This year. Yeah. So this year I'm full time, and it's bizarre. I'm working really hard.
Nick, what'd you do before?
Number of different things. I went out to Vancouver to go to film school, so I started my own film company out there with a buddy. We did advertising and marketing and stuff like that, and I worked in the film industry for a while. Did that whole stint for a while. And actually, for the past 5 years, I've been working full time at my local church doing all their video stuff. And then this year, started full time, quit everything else, and it's been a very wild ride. And being able to dedicate myself to one job has been very nice. I don't have to split my attention, but it's crazy how much there is to do.
Yeah. I hear sometimes in the video too, let's say on those live ones, and it's editing. It is 40 hours a week. It's 50 hours a week. It's crazy because you guys put so just to put it in perspective, Shawn, a Warhammer game is say 3 hours long.
Yeah, okay? 3 hours easily. Yeah.
And they condense it. Their whole model, and correct me if I'm wrong, their whole model was 3-hour videos condensed into 40 minutes. So 40K in 40 minutes is where it all kind of...
That's where it kind of started. Basically, we didn't like the videos we saw out there of people playing Warhammer and other battle games, tabletop war games. Sure. And we're like, we don't like watching any of these. We want to make ones that we want to watch. So we're like, okay, nobody was using their film experience, using expensive cameras, using good sound, using graphics, all that stuff. So we're like, let's put all that all out there. Because me and Tak, who is another person that started, have knowledge in film industry. So I brought my knowledge and my gear, and he comes from a marketing background, so he brought his knowledge and gear, and so together we were able to put together a crew and basically film with 6 cameras over a 6-hour period and add graphics and interviews and take this 3 to 4 hour game that's not really intended to have people watch it and make it watchable.
It's all action packed. The way you guys edit it makes it action packed. I remember when I've been playing Warhammer 10, 12 years, right? A long time. But there's been breaks. And then when I came back in, it was around 8th edition. I was watching you guys in season 1, and I always thought, this is like an episode. And every time you guys launched an episode, I'm like, this is like TV for me. This is
what we want to do.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was for us.
Go watch a sports show? No, we want you to be able to binge this. Yeah. We want it to be always enjoyable, no matter what edition, no matter what game, no matter what faction, that anybody could sit down and watch it, that husband and wife could watch it. Yeah. It was personally, internally, my goal was that a family could sit down and enjoy it and have fun watching it.
And just say oh, hey, that's really cool, because you put up the rules and you make it make sense to the layman.
As much as we can. 40K, most war games, tabletop war games are complicated. Yeah. And they're thick rule books. They take a lot of knowledge of how to play. And so to try to convey that to someone that's more of a casual or doesn't really play, or maybe just interested in it, is tough. But we help by having a commentator that helps highlight the most important things. We do interviews so people get a glimpse into the thought process of the players. We do graphics to try to assist with rules, and we really focus on the editing to really only get the important parts. We don't show every single dice roll.
No, and you really show hey, they're rolling bad, and that's always the fun. So Steve's rolling, and you're like, oh, of course he rolled 5 ones. Of course he did. That's what happens.
To be honest, if you look at an average Steve game, you go look at our live stream, Steve rolls averagely. He doesn't actually roll really badly. In fact, I think I probably roll worse than Steve. But because we edit them down, we keep in the exciting stuff, which typically is Steve rolling bad, and then it becomes a meme, and then we play into it, and then it
takes off on itself, right? Yeah. And one of the coolest things was when you did the Kill Team series, and then that steamroller thing. I actually laughed out loud.
I'm glad you did. We actually had to take down that video. Yeah, you actually can't find it anymore.
Oh.
So when we did it, we're like, oh, this is going to be cool. It's going to break the internet. And because we did, whoever lost had to steamroller their army.
Yeah.
Because with
an actual steamroller.
With an actual steamroller.
Like, I'm loving all this. Keep going. Yeah, I'm just like...
So we're like, this is going to be really cool because one of the players was a construction guy, so we had access to a steamroller. So we're like, this is going to be cool. It's going to break the internet. And then we started getting responses to the video that people saying, like, why would you do that? Like, you should give away those miniatures, or you should have like, what a waste, or like. And we started rethinking, and we went back to it, and it was like, you know what? I don't think this is actually who we want to be.
Yeah.
Because it was funny, but it was funny at someone's expense, and it wasn't really promoting the hobby, the sportsmanship, and what our channel really aspired to be. I mean, it really was kind of like an interesting moment. It was like, okay. Yeah, it was funny for a second, but it really was like insulting to like the people that can't afford miniatures or can barely afford miniatures to have us just run them over. Like it's like we're not a joke channel. We're not Jackass. You know, like we're not.
We're not. You're not like that's not what you guys are, right? Like
that's not who we are. Like sometimes people get mad at us because I guess we're too positive sometimes, but like it's a hobby. It's a hobby that we love.
Yeah,
this is why we're doing this. We like this stuff. We happen to like it. We wouldn't be doing it if we didn't. And so
we're all listening to Horus Heresy on Audible and painting. Like
exactly,
it literally is all we do. Like
we're not just phoning it in here. This is stuff we like to do. So when we go and talk about like, this is our favorite thing. This is really cool. People are like, oh, you're just chilling for GW, and we're like, no, we want to do this. We're in this because we like it.
Yeah, you're not just making like a YouTube video to be a YouTuber. Like you're actually like doing it for the Warhammer love.
Well, to be honest, if we were doing it just to be a YouTuber, it would be so many different things we would do.
Yeah.
In fact, battle reports are not like if you go look at like Warhammer content, the best stuff is like those meme painting channels. Really, is that where you get the most amount of views, right?
Yeah.
So
the painting phase, I think, is the other one that's pretty good. Yeah, they're pretty big. Anyways,
there's lots of good stuff out there. But we wanted to inspire people to play and entertain people.
And there's so many great things too because you have like ones where you're teaching new players. You have ones where you're bringing on that husband and wife combo. Like
that was a fun one. I really enjoyed that.
And Valentine's Day as well.
Yeah. We tried to release just for Valentine's Day. I was like, husband and wife.
But it's funny because I got it earlier, right? So it's like, oh, it is Valentine's Day. Thank God.
I forgot. Really remember good reminder.
Yeah, I was like, oh crap, it's Valentine's Day. And I had to like. Then that's when I bought like Nicole some stuff. Hey, hon, there's a Valentine's Day play on. You want to watch it?
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Actually, one of my favorite we've done recently, or not so recently, was a father and son video, and basically a guy named Chris and brought his son named James, and they played a game together on the channel. It's like the son's like I don't know 14 or something like that.
Cool.
And it was just like this really cool bonding moment of this father and son playing a game.
Yeah.
At the end, they just hug and they're like. They're just like, it was so cool. I mean, it really was like hobby goal for me. Like, I want to do that with my kids one day. My kids were young. I've got 3. But
that was my next question. So you have 3 sons.
3 kids, 3 sons.
And do they play? Do they? Because I remember in that one kill team you gifted one.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was more of a joke than anything else.
Okay.
But I still have that. I still have it waiting for them if they get older. But
sure.
But they're kind of curious at times. Right now, they're more into iPad and video games, but they've helped me paint a few things. I have a whole shelf of miniatures. When they say, "Oh, Daddy, what's that? Can I play?" I was like, "Yep, here you go. Here's your own box set. Here's your own army. Here you go." Like
what do you want?
Yeah, I literally have like shelves that the excuse has been to buy this stuff. I've been like, "Oh, it'll be for the kids one day."
Yeah. I was gonna make that joke too. Like I know she's only she's obviously very very young. Yeah. But like I was gonna make the joke too. Like maybe she should sit down and paint with me. Like I always have that in my back of my head because again I love this hobby so much and this is my escape. Like I work 14-hour, 15-hour days here, and then I get to go home and I get to watch Play On or watch. I actually love Tabletop Titans too.
Yeah, they're great.
Oh, they're fantastic. And Adrian's great. I love watching this content.
He's confirmed he's gonna come over in August.
To
us.
You're collabing.
Oh yeah, he's gonna come.
This is great news.
Yeah,
are you gonna collab back?
I'd love to.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So for some reason, it's harder to go there than them to come here. So we'll see.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Weird. All right, whatever. But having that on the background and just painting and just chilling out and then forgetting and just letting your mind focus, and that's the idea, right? Yeah. And that's what you bring. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. We honestly couldn't do it without people like you. So thank you.
Oh, no worries.
Yeah. And viewers like you.
Yeah. And you.
Hey Nick, I actually don't know anything about Warhammer. I'm like not from that realm.
Maybe you know a little bit now.
Yeah, a little bit now. No, but I love your enthusiasm and everything. Now I literally want to get in on this.
You should. It's a fantastic hobby where you play games with real people in real life with an army that you created.
Yeah.
Like, it's the ultimate expression of strategic, creative, social, and doing something physical with your hands.
Yeah.
That is not just like typing brainlessly on a computer.
Yeah. And you know, I came actually. I honestly played when I was 10 years old and stuff, but I actually left and I started playing Magic the Gathering for many years, and I traveled all over the states, GTs and everything like that. So I'm highly competitive. Yeah. But like the community I find with Wargaming and Warhammer, it's so much more welcoming and helping, and it's what it should be. Like, you know, I always found, you know, I'm not talking like, you know, it was just tougher. It was more cutthroat at times.
Well, it's different.
And I find Warhammer very, very open.
Well, with Warhammer, you end up investing a lot of time into these miniatures, right? It's not something like Magic the Gathering can be fun, but like you go buy a kit. And that's it.
Or the One Ring.
Yeah, or you buy lots of kits, or whatever. But it's really just how much money have you spent. It's not how much time you spent in the army. Like, yes, Warhammer can sometimes be about how much money you spent, but it also is like how much time you spent. Because you can spend 5 minutes doing it, but you can also spend hours upon hours upon hours customizing, detailing, making this army your own. And so when you face someone else, it's like you've got a story going there. And I love to say that Warhammer and other tabletop board games is basically a shared narrative between the two players.
Sure. Yeah,
and that's really all it is you guys are telling a story together and rolling dice, see what happens.
Yeah, and then you're always having fun, always laughing. I've rarely come across a salty player, like rarely. Of course it happens, but like it's always just so happy and engaging, and just like we're talking the story. Like, do you remember that one time when I showed all these things and then you saved everything?
Do you remember that one time when my really weak unit managed to kill your really strong thing? And it was like,
Cruz actually made a shot and killed an entire unit. Yeah, great.
You'll always remember those moments. Like,
always.
Yeah, like they can be really cool events, and then when you start to throw in some like storytelling and narrative stuff, and like you do campaigns, and like, or you make custom terrain to make a cool board, or
Hey Nick, quick question, like because Kass, we talked about this one time, like why is like Warhammer not turning like movies and things like that with the
totally
way
is
it will it is
they've announced a TV series.
Henry Cavill's the main producer.
That's where you
our hero. He's the king.
Every single YouTube channel has been trying to get him on their channel, so like the second we get him on, like,
oh my gosh,
I'd love to. We recently got a guy named Rahul Kohli on, who's friends with Henry. So Henry, if you're ever watching this, maybe like
yeah, hey, maybe just say hi. We all love you, and we know you have family in Calgary.
Sweet.
But either way, you know. But I mean, so he left Superman, and honestly, I think it is for the best. Like what James Gunn decided to do, and I think he's just going in a different direction. But it was sad to me to see him go Superman. But at the flip side, he is now producing his main love.
It seems like he's gone hardcore into Warhammer, and I'm excited.
100%, right? Like,
and this is just good for us because, like,
everything.
So my dumb brain, like, is there like a central storyline or is it again like?
How much time do you have?
Well, I got a lot of time. It's just you guys, really.
We made an entire 40K history in 8-minute video. You can go watch that if you want.
Oh yeah,
it's awesome. Actually.
Okay, so I'll save you.
Okay, here's the real question then: what story do you think he's going to choose as the first series?
It's got to be Eisenhorn.
That's what I think too. I think it's Eisenhorn.
Yeah.
I was like, does he go Horus? I don't think he does Horus. I think that's too grand.
Yeah.
And it's too hard for the layman to understand.
Okay, quick Cliff Notes. 41st millennia. It's way in the future. Yeah. Humanity has this galaxy-spanning empire, except it's stagnant now because it did hold on against the numerous threats of aliens and heretics and chaos and weirdness. They have to basically cannibalize themselves, and it's like a dogmatic and fanatical and a horrible place to live, but they have to survive. And you play as one of these factions, whether it's a human faction, one of dozens of human factions, or these alien factions, or these chaotic, crazy little factions, or you play an army of crazy robotic madmen, or an army of blue-skinned aliens that like to shoot, or an army of space dwarves, or an army of space elves, or space orcs, or superhuman, transhuman guys with big giant power hammers that literally run across the field.
Sounds like better than Star Wars.
Better than Star Trek.
It's got hundreds of books.
Yeah.
And a humongous amount of backstory and lore. They just kind of dive in.
Why did it take so long then to? Because I keep thinking something like this should have been anime by now, and like so.
There are terrible animations out there.
Yeah,
there's a few good ones too.
Do you do the Warhammer Plus?
I do have Warhammer Plus.
Yeah, I mean I do too.
I've seen a couple of the animations. Some of them are a lot of fun. I
like the Sisters one. That was actually really good.
Yeah, I really like the Tau one actually. Tau one was really cool.
Tau.
Really cool.
So his nickname is Tau Nick.
Yeah,
Tau Nick.
If you didn't know, if you're watching, you don't know anything about 40K. Tau are awesome.
They're fish.
No! Okay, that's it.
Okay. No, they're cows and fish.
Sorry,
the calamari.
Sorry, Nick, man, I do want to, because what's the story that you were telling me about like the god that he resurrected himself and then his son came around and he was like killing the entire universe?
Emperor of mankind. He didn't resurrect himself. He's just dead on the throne.
Oh, he's dead on the throne, but like what's
that plot?
Okay,
the story revolves around
he just summarized
the Emperor of mankind, which nobody really knows what he is, but he's basically
Jesus.
He's very much a Jesus figure or
God figure. No, but you're like in the time, like he was Genghis Khan. He was like
he was literally all the major figures in history, right?
He could be. There's a lot of ambiguity.
Sure.
A lot of ambiguity.
Agreed.
40K, all of 40K lore leaves it up to an unreliable narrator and ambiguity. It's for fun. Yeah. So there's a lot of.
So is that what you interpreted then, or?
Well, I just thought because he was always he had like all the power kind of bestowed on him with a bunch of like all these like people chanting around and giving him the power, and he was like he never revealed himself until way later before the Age of Strife.
Something like that.
I think it's before. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Anyways, but he revealed himself eventually. But he was always kind of swaying mankind.
He's working in the background.
Yeah, like working in the background, but he never revealed himself.
Yeah.
But eventually he comes out and says, all right, I'm going to unify all of humanity and start a crusade to take over the galaxy.
Yeah.
He makes superhumans that are genetically altered, that are the Space Marines, and they're like 10 feet tall, and they have 2 hearts, and are superpowered with awesome armor, and they go and take over the galaxy. And then half his Space Marine legions betray him, and there's a big giant war in space where there's a big civil war, and at the very last, he almost wins by killing the leader of the enemy traitors. Horus, the Horus Heresy is called.
Sorry, again, this is like 40,000 years in the future?
This is 30,000 years in the future.
Holy shit.
So he tries to take out Horus, last ditch effort, and though he kills Horus, he's also mortally wounded. To save his life, they put him on this big machine called the Golden Throne that preserves his life and preserves the Imperium, but at the same time, he's just like really a corpse.
Yeah.
And so he's
decaying.
He's a corpse emperor, essentially.
Well, kind of like fucking Palpatine,
yeah.
really.
And so from there, because they lack his direct guiding light, the whole Imperium starts to decay and crumble. And then 40,000 years in the future, now we have all sorts of aliens. The heretics are back. The traitors are back.
Necrons awaken. These like undead robots. You've got the Tyranids invading swarms of bugs. Think Zerglings and stuff like that from StarCraft. You've got the Tau coming onto this field, which are like super advanced, highly tech. But they're very new.
So is the StarCraft storyline canon to?
No, StarCraft has nothing to do with it. The Tyranids kind of look like Zerglings.
They look like. I thought you said literally wasn't Zerglings. I was like, oh no.
They have a lot of similarities, but like
StarCraft and Warcraft were initially supposed to be based on 40K, but GW said no, so they made their own stuff.
Yeah.
Okay,
so a lot of the stuff is like incredibly similar and incredibly evocative of it, but it's not the same.
I did totally fuck with StarCraft back in the day. So.
Oh yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, cool. Well,
okay, yeah, we can wrap this up. Hey, Nick, I literally just met you right now, and that's fucking awesome. Definitely gonna start to follow and get up to snuff. I'm not gonna lie, I may not actually ever play the actual board game because it's just really not my thing. But I love
people that all they do is watch lore.
Yeah, like I'm a science fiction nerd, and like I love fantasy books.
I think when this TV series comes out, it's gonna like. Everything's just going to skyrocket.
Is the production going to be almost like Game of Thrones level? Like
it could
super.
Be.
Well, it's Amazon budget. Amazon.
We don't know.
Funding it,
Amazon's doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Okay.
So but they fucked up Lord of the Rings. I hope they don't fuck
this
up. I might disagree with that.
The new one, the Rings of Power.
I might disagree with that.
Oh, okay. No,
I would disagree with you. No, I didn't like. I love Lord of the Rings too, but like I just found like it was just too packaged up.
All right, let's go with it. Yeah. All right, so so in my opinion, yes, there was a lot of holes. Yes, there was a lot of things that could be a lot better. But I was just so darn happy to be back in Middle Earth that I was enjoying it.
Fair enough.
And it felt like Middle Earth. Despite the plot holes, despite some of the... There's a few times where it was bad writing or bad acting.
Showed the Balrog once.
Overall, it felt like Middle Earth. Dwarves were amazing.
He was awesome. He was my favorite character.
They were fantastic storyline. Yeah. The clothing, the armor, the architecture, the backgrounds, the sets.
Oh no, like the visuals was absolutely amazing.
The visuals were out, like, but I found like it dragged and it was a little bit boring.
Sure,
And
but I was just so excited to be back in Middle Earth. I didn't care.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we said from that angle.
Another story too. Like what was it? 2 days or no? A weekend. He built Osgiliath, which is like the.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah,
we play Lord of the Rings. Is another Lord of the Rings strategy battle game, which is another tabletop war game.
Yeah,
and it's based upon Lord of the Rings. We have all those guys and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
I played Lord of the Rings back in the day.
Yeah, it's a great game. It's a fantastic game.
I remember Aragorn just being like the best.
He's awesome.
Yeah,
there's 2 versions of him. Both are awesome.
Yeah, I just remember like, oh, my brother charged me a bunch of Urukai, and I was like, I don't care.
Boom.
And 30 dead.
Yeah.
I actually did One Step Games Workshop. There was one in Sunridge Mall, so Northeast. They did the entire the battle from the first the
yeah, it's cool.
It was so cool.
Yeah, we have an awesome community in Vancouver that plays Lord of the Rings regularly.
Oh, cool.
Do some more battles for it.
Did you when you were watching Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, were you also simultaneously watching House of Dragon as well? Like, are you into that?
I did watch House of Dragon.
Okay, like, what's your opinion on that here?
I like most of it. There's a few things where I was like, eh.
See, that's where I'm completely different. Like, I do appreciate everything you said about Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power. Like, everything you listed was absolutely wicked, but I just felt like House of Dragon, like, that's just more of a complete production storyline to me. Like,
I will agree, there were some amazing things in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like House of Dragon has some amazing things going for it, 100%. And I'm excited to see what they do with it more.
Yeah. I guess my biggest thing with the Lord of the Rings was just like the elves. Like, they just live so much longer. They have so much more time. Yet they seem like they're just like not as advanced as they should be for the amount of time of head start they have compared to like everyday.
Okay, but that's always been Tolkien's thing. They've never been about advancing. It's been about preserving.
Yeah, tradition.
And like magic is subtle in Lord of the Rings. It's not an overt thing. Like you never see fireballs being cast. It's not that kind of show. And so if you go into who Tolkien was and what he wanted to write, why he was like, elves just want to preserve life, right? They just want to hold on and they wouldn't be. They already know all this stuff.
Yeah,
they know how to craft amazing swords that could pierce anything. They know how to craft these kind of things.
So they're just about like chilling in a way.
Yeah. And that's
forever and ever.
And that ultimately leads to their downfall.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I just felt like they got like there's so much like bigotry towards them by the humans and stuff. But I'm sitting there like, why don't you guys just steamroll them?
Because that's not what they're interested in.
Yeah, you're right. They're interested in chilling.
You're thinking from a human perspective.
That's true.
You're not thinking from an elvish perspective.
Which is what they always hated, right? Because they're like, men are doomed to die because they're actually
you can't think long term. You can't think the elves aren't looking to take over the world. The elves want to live in harmony in their zones and just
live. More like monks. Like they're more like monks. They don't want ego, basically. They want like.
I wouldn't say monks, but it's imagine if you had infinite time to live. Like, okay, I want to go spend 100 years and be an expert at table making. I want to spend 100 years and be an expert at this thing, and just go be the best you can be at everything you want. Why not? Yeah. I don't care if this human colony rises and falls. That's whatever.
Yeah.
Interesting.
This is an interesting perspective too when it comes to the Rings of Power, because I really like the Sauron the twist. I really like that at the end.
Yeah, if there's one thing I didn't like, it was that. To be honest,
really? Oh, to be honest,
that was
sides here.
Sauron, he was just too sexy, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like seriously, the whole thing got distracting after a while. You're like, dude, how can what's the main character's name?
That's straight from the books.
Galadriel.
That's straight from the books. He was always he's known as the angel of deception. He comes in the beautiful form and they tricks people and stuff like that.
But he's Galadriel. It's at one point, of course they're gonna have to bang, right? You know what I mean? It's just I think
it's more about the Queen of the Light and the Lord of the Dark, right? Combining forces.
But at that time, if you go read the appendixes of Lord of the Rings and stuff like that,
there's a million in talking about, or
well, they didn't have access to that. They only had the appendixes to work from.
Right.
But in the appendix, it talks about how Sauron, for a time, basically the big giant gods destroy Melkor, who was Sauron's boss, and the world has peace for a bit.
Who's Sauron's boss again?
Malcador.
Okay.
No, Melkor.
Malcor. Okay, yeah. He was the ultimate sorcerer, and he was
that's his name.
Sauron was actually the apprentice.
Yeah. So I'm saying, Malcor was his name. Are you sure?
He was the one who took over in the first age.
Yes, and then Sauron was his apprentice. Yeah, his lieutenant. But then he ended up becoming more of a big bad than the other guy.
Malcor was always a big bad. So the gods, the Valar, they come in. They're essentially angels. Essentially, they come in and they defeat. They finally come to rescue and they defeat Melkor and they put him in jail. Yep. And Sauron is so pitiful, and he basically is so overwhelmed by the awe of the Valar that he bows and says, I want to change. And the one Valar is okay, report to us in Valinor. We got to get going, but report to us in Valinor, and we'll work on this. And he gets so scared that he doesn't go, but it seems like he wants to change for a bit, but then just obviously gets eventually corrupted by lust for power.
Yeah. And then makes one ring.
Wow, we're talking about Lord of the Rings. Lord is awesome.
It's
Let's
awesome.
get into it.
I love it.
These are podcasts, man. They segue left, right, and center once you get going and everything. But
you've been on a podcast before, right?
Sure.
Look at the way he talks.
I don't know.
You're on a YouTube.
This is a podcast?
Okay.
Dude, no, Nick, you could definitely do like solo podcasts with the way you're like storytelling. Like I was literally sitting there just like, yeah, and then what happens? Yeah.
You should see some of his videos. Like he does.
I will.
solo stuff
You didn't tell me it was like this. I just like you never told me it was like this. You're like, oh hey, I got this guy coming in from Play on Tabletop, and I was like, I don't play these games, man. It's like,
Tabletop. All right, should we say the outro?
I don't know if I can do it.
You got it.
I get it wrong every single time.
What's the outro? Let's hear it. Do it on.
Until we see you next time in the grim darkness of the far-flung future.
Play on.
Fuck yeah! All right. Okay, sweet.
That was awesome. Thanks so much.